Let's get a good ol'. I needed to keep my mouth moist because I woke up today and decided I was in the mood to chit chat. There's only one thing you can do when you wake up in the mood to talk and you don't have anybody to talk to. I talk to Gerald. I talk to my son. I occasionally will answer a text message from a friend. But for some reason, that does not hit the same as turning on a camera and oversharing. Grab yourself a drink, sit your ass down in a comfy chair, and I'm gonna answer your guys' questions. I actually asked for these on Snapchat. I do use Snapchat quite a bit. I post random stuff on there. I've been liking it for a while. It's a good way to connect with you guys. It's a much smaller community over there. It feels wholesome. Sue me. That's where I got these questions from. If you want to be a part of that family, I'll have a link or something, okay? You guys asked me these questions, not me. If you're not interested, that's a you problem. Take it up with your fellow peers. With that being said, let's get into it. First time mother here. I'm putting my hands up here. I didn't know anything going into having a child. The amount of stuff I've looked up online from the moment I found out I was pregnant until this day is extensive. I knew that I was going to be staying at home with him. I knew I was going to have a lot of time to be interacting with him. I very quickly was able to pick up on how important the toys that you are playing with their baby are for their development, which is where KiwiCo comes in. I need to say a huge thank you to KiwiCo for sponsoring this vlog. It is safe to say we are obsessed with KiwiCo in this household. The first 3 years of your kid's life are so important. They pretty much lay the foundation for learning throughout their life. Their little brains are growing so fast. Every way that you're helping them engage their mind, everything that they're touching, every way that you're engaging their senses is helping them discover the world around them, which is super important for their developing little brains. KiwiCo was created by parents, for parents like me and maybe you. KiwiCo has a Panda Crate, which delivers the best toys right to your door for babies ages 0 to 36 months. All of the toys you're gonna get in your crate are gonna help your baby develop essential skills, but they're still super fun. If you go into a store and you look at the toy section, it gets overwhelming very quickly. Especially as a first-time parent, I didn't know exactly what toys will help him meet the milestones he's supposed to be hitting depending on his age. I really like that with the Panda Crate, it does some of that thinking for me. It gives you developmentally appropriate toys depending on what stage your baby is in. Y'all always are asking me about the toys that I use for MJ, and KiwiCo's Panda Crate toys have been by far our most used toys, and I really think that they've helped with his attention span. He's developing so quickly. I'm gonna show you these in a second and I'll tell you his favorite ones. A lot of these are things that I would not have thought to get, or activities that I wouldn't have thought to be doing with him. This is a subscription box type service. They have 3 tiers. The toys that I have to show you are from Panda Crate Plus. It's $80 every 2 months. That means you're gonna receive a box every 2 months. Inside of this box is resources for the parents, so you and me, 3 to 6 age specific toys, and 1 big Grow With Me toy. They also have Panda Crate Essentials, which is $50 a crate every 2 months. You still get 3 to 6 age specific toys and the resources for the parents, so you just don't get the 1 big Grow With Me toy. And then they have their top tier, which is Panda Crate Deluxe. You get everything that you get with the Panda Crate Plus, but you also get books. Obviously, it's really good to read to your kid, and that is $90 every 2 months. I kind of was holding this one up before. This was the Grow With Me toy. He hasn't quite figured out how to play with this yet. He does push these down, but he hasn't figured out how to like set these in there yet. He's 6 months old. I would imagine this is really good for their fine motor skills and any type of like cause and effect. So putting this in makes this pop up. I don't know if you can see, but they have cute little faces on them. These are all wooden. Like I said earlier, I really feel like because they're very low stimulating in a way, it's helped his attention span. That's just my experience. Okay, I brought up all of our favorite ones. He loves this. He makes lots of noise with this one. You push these down. I don't want to be too loud. He is sleeping. I use most of these during tummy time, and it really has helped him like extend the period he's happy on his stomach. This is another big hit for tummy time. I've also used this to help him while he's sitting. I do not know why babies like these so much, or at least my baby is obsessed with this. He could probably play with this for an entire wake window. And it has suction cups. Anywhere you can suction this thing to, you can stick it there. At restaurants, big hit. I'm almost 27 and even I like this one. This I really would have never thought of for some reason. It came with 3 scarves. One of them is in the wash. It got a little messy. There are so many different ways to play with these. The resource book kind of helps you see how to use these toys. We play peekaboo with these. We let him just grab them. I'll put it on my head and I'll go, this scarf fell down and it'll fall on him and he loves it. I did not think that he was going to like this one at first. Like I thought it was gonna take him a long time to enjoy this. It's a box with a hole in the top and a big hole in the front. Hand it to him and we go put it in. He's not perfect with it yet, but surprisingly, he's pretty good at it. He's just started to sit up without a lot of help. Simple but effective. He loves these little egg rattles. I feel like it really has helped him with grasping. This is another one that he could just stare at all day. The last one that I'm gonna show you is this little puzzle mirror thing. He loves anything with a mirror. Helps him learn shapes, fine motor skills from such a simple toy. If you guys want to try out KiwiCo and get a panda crate for yourself, all you have to do is click the link in my description box and use code SamanthaJo to get 20% off your first panda crate. Once again, I'm a first-time mom and I really am learning everything as I go. KiwiCo's panda crate has just really made playtime with my baby so much less stressful. I can see right in front of me these toys helping him develop. I've created memories playing with him with these toys that I'm gonna remember forever, even though he isn't. I really would recommend it if you are looking for good toys. A huge thank you to KiwiCo for sponsoring this video and for helping my little man develop. But now we can get back into vlog. This is a sweet one. What have you loved most about being a mom that you didn't expect you would love? I talk a lot with my hands, by the way. I'm theatrical. Before becoming a mom, the most time that I had spent with a kid is when I was either babysitting or seeing my nephews. When it's not your kid, you always get to give the kid back, right? How do I explain this feeling? I guess I was just nervous that I was going to be upset that I didn't have anybody to give the kid back to, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot, obviously it's a bigger responsibility when it's your child. So I guess in the back of my mind, because that's the only feeling that I knew, was like counting down the minutes until I got to give this child back to their parents. I assumed they kind of lived all the time with that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I wish I had someone I could give this baby to. And that feeling just never came. When he goes down for his naps, I'm saying this with a grain of salt, but I'm so excited for him to wake up. Like I know he needs to take a good nap, but I miss him and I cannot wait for him to wake up. He's my buddy, he's who I hang out with during the day. My entire day is spent taking care of him, helping him learn, helping him grow. I don't know if that answered the question properly. I also really love seeing him hit milestones. I think I knew that I would love that though. It's just a lot more rewarding than I thought it was going to be because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm home with him all day while Gerald's at work. I feel like if he starts to get behind on something, that's on me. It's my responsibility to be putting him in tummy time, making him work out, doing sensory activities like taking him outside. That's part of my job description. He's hitting so many milestones and seeing him do that is like, oh, maybe I'm not so bad. It's rewarding. Sad because I want him to stay little, but rewarding. Do you think you will ever share MJ's real name and how you chose it? No, I will not be sharing MJ's real name. If and when he is a grown boy, man, whatever, and he has his own social media and he decides to put that out there, I can't control that really. For as long as the decision is in my hands, I will not be sharing his real name. I don't really see the need to be quite honest. Like, you know him as MJ. That seems good enough to me. I don't think they were asking this in a negative way, by the way. We were in between two names, like up until the very end. I can see myself sharing the other name we were gonna use, but you're not gonna know his name. At least not by my doing. I won't be the one to share it. I think a lot has happened on the internet, especially in the past few months. More and more and more, it just solidifies my want to keep him safe. I like sharing glimpses into what it's like to be a mom. That is the season of life that I'm in, obviously. When I post vlogs, I want them to be about me, my life, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling about being a mom, like what am I doing? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want it to be about him, the way that he's feeling and like things that he's experiencing. I want it to be about motherhood, not my kid. Does that make sense? I'm still navigating it and learning. As I'm crawling out of postpartum, I finally feel like I'm getting ideas on like other videos I can post that aren't vlogs. I love vlogs, but in order for me to vlog and not show more than I want to, it takes like 2 weeks to get enough footage. I need to find stuff that I can post in between there, and so I finally feel like I'm getting to a good place where I can do that. Me and Andrew have some ideas. He's staying offline. When he makes an appearance in a vlog, he's blurred out. You know a nickname for him. That's how it's gonna stay. So many people ask this question. Will there be a baby number 2? No. The second I got pregnant, I feel like I started getting asked when I was going to have another baby. Personally for me, pregnancy did not go good. My birth did not go good. It's truly something that I just don't want to go through again. I'm so grateful for my son and I would not change any of it, but I already got through that and I don't really want to do it again. For some reason, that is a controversial thing. As if being an only child is the worst thing that could possibly ever happen to somebody in the entire world. I was also told that I couldn't have kids. Up until my very last scan that I ever got, this pregnant pregnant. They were still telling me that they do not know how I got pregnant in the first place because my ovaries looked so bad. I was fully prepared to have to do IVF whenever I was going to have a child. The fact that MJ exists is a miracle, okay? I just don't want to do it again. If that's a crime, call me a criminal. I'm gonna make sure he has the absolute best life with the best friends, and he has every opportunity to be surrounded by people that love him and fill his cup and fill his life. Even if that means I adopt a kid, I do not know. My coochie's closed. I know people change their mind all the time, but my coochie's closed. What's your favorite drink of choice during a walk? I asked for these questions while I was out on a walk because I have been so consistent with my walking, you guys. Every single morning, I wake up, Gerald gets ready for work, he gets MJ out of bed, changes his diaper, brings him to me to feed him. Gerald goes to work, I change MJ into his walking clothes, I get myself ready, and we head out for a walk. I drive to new places every morning just to have like different scenery, and it's honestly the only time I get out of the house during the day. Monday through Friday, I walk for an hour. I go about 3 miles, like 3 point something. I've been using the Strava app. It's the most I've been consistent working out, if you count walking like long distances as working out, since I gave birth. Honestly, since I got pregnant, I'm starting to feel a lot better. My pinky toes, lots of blisters. I'm working on finding like the best walking shoe for long distances. My body's just not used to walking like 20 miles every single week. I did get little silicone protectors for my toes, and that's helping. I didn't even answer the question. What's your favorite drink of choice during a walk? If where I'm walking there's a coffee shop along the way, I won't bring a drink with me, and like I'll just stop and get a coffee. But ever since I got my gallbladder out, stopping and getting a coffee is a risk, a big risk. Stuff kind of goes right through me. Use your imagination. So I'll either just have water, I'll stop and get a coffee, or my Alani, but honestly I haven't been eating before my walks. I don't like having caffeine on an empty stomach, so most of the time it's just water. I know that's boring. Maybe I'll put some electrolytes in it. Probably not. What made you move out of Wisconsin? I feel like in my head people forgot that I lived in Wisconsin or started watching after the Wisconsin era, so they kind of just never knew that I was there. Every once in a while there's a twinge. I can hear it. Like when I say toast, that was Wisconsin. I've always wanted to move out of Wisconsin. Even before social media was my job, I was looking for colleges out of state. That's not the route I went. I stayed in Wisconsin for the one singular year of college that I did. I just always knew that I was not gonna end up there. I wasn't happy there. There wasn't enough to do because I lived in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. It's not like I lived in Madison or Milwaukee. I knew I was going to leave at some point, but I just didn't really have the motivation to do it until the pandemic hit and everybody was stuck at home, and I realized I'm stuck in my home in Wisconsin. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Wisconsin, but why am I here if I don't have to be? There's somewhere out there for everybody, and Wisconsin just wasn't it for me. It's beautiful. I needed to leave to find myself and to grow as a person and to get my own opinions on things. Like small town Wisconsin, oh spooky. The pandemic hit and I was just sitting in my house and I was like, why do I live here? I had made a trip to Florida, and while I was there, I didn't feel depressed. Like the sun was shining. I'm like, whoa, it's December and I don't feel depressed in the sun. That's weird. And I decided to move, and my mom was not the happiest person, obviously, because me and my mom are like best friends, and I'm talking about moving across the country to a place I literally know nothing about. I full sent it, I did it. I even moved to Nashville for a year because I said, hey, I'll just move to a bunch of different cities and try them out. I was so homesick for St. Pete that I came right back once that lease was up. So that's why I moved out of Wisconsin. Please tell me what the Chick-fil-A salad is. I need a new go-to. Guys, Chick-fil-A salad, calling it a salad feels wrong, okay? One of my hyperfixation, like breastfeeding meals, I can't remember if I had it when I was pregnant. I don't think I did. I think it was like an after I gave birth thing. You essentially order like a chicken nugget meal, and you also order a side salad. You rip up the fries, you rip up the chicken nugget, you put it all in a bowl with ranch and buffalo sauce. There's a few pieces of lettuce, french fries, and chicken. I don't know why it's so good. It might just be because I'm breastfeeding, but I love it. Embarrassingly enough, I have to admit that I have reached signature status at Chick-fil-A within the year, within the past 9 months, yeah. I apologize, but I've gotten better. I was getting it like multiple times a week. Now I maybe get it like once, maybe once every 2 weeks if I have self-control. If you wanted to start your way into becoming a YouTuber, what's the best, easiest editing software? If I'm giving you my advice, I use Final Cut Pro. I think I edited on iMovie for like 5 seconds, and then I immediately just like taught myself how to use Final Cut Pro. I don't like learning new things. Like I've tried to learn like Adobe Premiere or whatever, but because I know Final Cut Pro so well, it's like hard for me to switch to that. If I'm telling you what I would do, I would just start on Final Cut Pro, but it does cost money. I knew that I liked editing videos regardless of if it took off as a career. So like it was worth it for me to buy that. Honestly, I would just say pick one and learn it and stick to it. Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, iMovie's free, just does not have as many features on it. Those are the ones that I use. I think CapCut has like a computer version now, but I haven't used it. So I guess I can only really recommend Final Cut Pro. That's what I'm good at. That's what Andrew uses. That's what we know. Do you miss Wisconsin? Do you think you'll ever move back? I don't want to say like never. I would never move back by choice. My family's there, and if something happened that I needed to be there for an extended period of time, I would obviously go. I don't miss it. I miss my family. I don't miss Wisconsin. The weather in the fall is beautiful. I love a white Christmas. I love the fall colors. I attach memories to places a lot, and I experience a lot of trauma there. It's just not my favorite place. Any tips about giving birth? I have severe tocophobia. I'm not sure what that is, but I really want to eventually have kids. I was so afraid of birth that I sat and had nightmares every single night, like since the day I found out I was pregnant. Mine was real bad. I posted a whole birth story if you want to watch it. Obviously, it could have been worse than what mine was, but it was pretty bad. I think for most people, birth goes better than it went for me. I'm a wuss, so if I made it through, I promised you would make it through. I found a lot of peace knowing that I was gonna get an epidural and that would help with a lot of my pain. I also think what helped me a lot was not really having a plan. If I had made a plan, my birth wouldn't have been even close to what I would have had planned out, and that would have stressed me out more than just going with the flow and letting what's gonna happen happen. The only thing I knew is that I wanted an epidural. I tried to remind myself that so many women do this all the time. Nobody would be here if people didn't give birth. I wish I knew a way to make you less scared. I just think the fact that I'm sitting here is proof that if you decide you're gonna have kids, you'll be okay. My birth was very traumatic, but I would go back and relive that knowing that I have my son, if that makes sense. It did suck. I do wish I had more words of comfort for you though. Do you miss podcasting? We miss you. Oh. Yes and no. Yes and no. I definitely miss doing it with Andrew, like having my friend and like that time that we got to spend together because he was coming to my house. We were like, I was seeing him every week, every other week. That part was nice because like I had a friend in real life because I don't have friends in real life. All of them are long distance. But I don't really miss the podcasting community, and I'm sorry to those of you guys like who are very sweet and supportive that also listen to the podcast, and I hope you still do listen to the podcast. Andrew is still doing the podcast, if you guys did not know, and he is so consistent with it, and I am a viewer. I listen to every single one, okay? I'll have it down below. If you haven't watched or listened recently, please go do so. We did an episode together. I'll actually link that one, and then you guys can like find the podcast channel through there. A lot of the community on there was just mean. I feel like I see that on a lot of people's podcasts. Like for some reason, people that watch podcasts are just way more judgy. I don't know. Y'all didn't like me over there. So I think if I ever did a podcast again, I think I would rather just do like an advice segment or talking, me telling you guys random shit like videos versus having a podcast. I don't know, you guys. I do miss the long form because I love to sit and talk. I don't miss how it made me feel. I was really hyper analyzing myself. It became a negative thing for me. Like I didn't want to film it because the people that were watching it just hated me. So why am I putting my time and effort into that, you know? Which means when it came down to me lessening my plate when I got pregnant, unfortunately, it was the first thing on the chopping block for me because it was already not making me very happy. I guess never say never. I'll hop on episodes with Andrew here and there, but I fear that might be the extent of it. How would you handle being a lonely girl in her late 20s? I barely have girlfriends. I just have my husband and it gets super lonely sometimes. How does one make friends? I know this is probably not the best question to ask, but your girl is struggling. I wish I had a better answer for you. I'm including this so people in the comments can help you out because I have a few long distance friends and that's literally it. I know I need to start putting myself out there. That way MJ has friends, but it's freaking hard. Like, I feel like everybody has their solidified groups, especially if you like didn't go to college or you moved. I have this fear that the friends I would make would just be friends with me maybe for like the wrong intentions. I don't know. My anxiety holds me back a lot. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all in the comments because I need the advice too. How are you so motivated to go on these walks? I'm 4 months postpartum and barely motivated to do anything active. I'm not always excited to go on the walks in the morning, but I know it's the only time I'm gonna get out of the house, and I always feel so much better once I'm on the walk, and I also don't put pressure on it. So like if I only wanted to walk for a mile, that's okay. I think I just stopped looking at it as like, ugh, I have to get up and go for a walk. Like it was a chore and more I'm so lucky that I get to wake up, take my son outside, spend intentional time with him, witness the world, and just be present. I don't know. I just changed the way that I was talking about it. It's helping me feel a lot better too about my body postpartum and my weight, and just like knowing I'm moving and taking care of myself like even a little bit. Mentally, it's helping a lot. And once you get into the routine of it, it just becomes normal. If you could go back and give pre-mom you a very honest tip, what would it be? Stop overthinking everything. I wish I could go back to his newborn phase so badly. I think that's probably a shared experience for a lot of first-time moms, because I was just so scared and so out of it that like I don't remember a lot of the very beginning. I just wish I could tell myself it's gonna be okay. How has being a mother changed your mental health? I'm looking forward to getting pregnant in the near future, but struggle with my mental health. I was a little worried about this. I have struggled with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, but with that being said, I feel the most fulfilled I've ever felt in my life. I feel like I have been searching for a purpose for so long. MJ came when I was not expecting him. I was told just a couple months before, hey, you're not having kids. It is not the path that I saw my life going, but I do feel like he saved me in so many ways. I know my postpartum depression is gonna come to an end. I know the anxiety will go away. I've changed so much. I've realized what's important in life and what isn't. Overall, I'm so much happier. I couldn't feel more different than the girl that sat in her apartment in Wisconsin. Whenever I see comments where it's like, oh, I miss that girl. Like I miss who lived in Wisconsin. It does baffle me a little bit because I was so depressed. I was so sad. I had bugs in my house. Like I didn't clean. You couldn't sit in the passenger seat of my car because it was filled with fast food bags. I binged all day, every day. I hid it maybe, and I put on a face to film videos. I can't watch those videos back. I was so sad. I was miserable. I hated waking up every single day. I couldn't be more proud of myself for how different I am than her. That girl right now would be so proud of me. Back then, I could have never imagined making it here. Becoming a mom has given me so much motivation to better all aspects of my life, and I really have given my time to being MJ's mom, especially while he's so little. It has put such a fire in me to like grow in my career and give him the best life, really put my perspective on like what's important. I could go on about it forever, okay? Just know I'm gonna be just fine. I will get through postpartum. My life is going to be so much better, and is so much better than it ever has been before. What crochet projects are you doing at the moment? I'm making a big granny square and turning into a book holder. That's cute. I'm still working on that damn star suit, okay? MJ has fully entered I need mom era. I can't set him down and walk away without him being really upset. I haven't had the most time for crochet. The time that I do have for my hobbies, I've been working on this star suit, and I will update you guys on it in the next vlog that I make for you. I really am working on having more time for me and not feeling guilty doing the things that make me happy. Have I found myself again? I would say no, but I'm on the way. I screenshotted this because it made me giggle. What is it like being a single mom? I feel like people just assume, like I don't show my relationship online, and I have not showed my relationship online consistently outside of like a picture here or there in years. I think it's hilarious that people just assume that that means I'm by myself and that I do not have help, or like I'll post something and it's like, where's the dad? Well, he's at work. You know, this happens to be my job, but he has a real big boy job. Not that this isn't a real job, but you know, it's different. Let's just say that. I could put MJ in some type of daycare or get a nanny. I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm capable of doing it. Maybe if I had that, I would have a little bit more time to film and whatnot. I like taking care of him. Sue me, he's my kid. So I'm not a single mom. I hate to break it to you. Do y'all plan on staying in Florida? Or is there a chance you would move somewhere else in the future? That's kind of up to Gerald's job. He works for the government, so wherever they kind of put him, we have to go. There is no plans to leave as of right now, or at least for the next few years, which means we can actually find a place we want to like settle into. I would love to live in like a different area. The old owners moved back into the house that we lived in before, so like we had to get out, and that whole area flooded really bad. This rental was literally like all that was available because everybody was displaced from the hurricanes. Now that we know we're staying here, we can find somewhere that we want to like stay for a few years, and I have moved every single year for so long. I want to not move so badly. We just need to find a place that fits our family, is big enough to have room for people to come stay with us. We don't have anywhere for our dining table in this house. I want us to have a dinner table. We have our table, it's just in storage. We need somewhere for us to sit and eat dinners as a family. It is nice knowing that we're gonna be here for a while. We can plant roots, if that makes sense. How have you been coping with not having mom friends? My baby is 7 weeks and I'm struggling. It's also so hard to make mom friends now. Yeah, it's not easy. I feel like a lot of the people that are around here, I just maybe wouldn't like vibe with, or like some moms are just so judgy, but I know I need to put myself out there more, and I don't know how. Like, I don't know where I find these people. Like, do I just stop moms on the street on my walks with their strollers and be like, hi? Maybe like once he starts going to the park. How can one know if they are ready to be a parent? I don't think you're ever really ready. I think you just do it. Like, I sure as shit wasn't ready, but like I had to be ready, you know? Like, you're not ready until you have to be. We're figuring it out. It's not that bad. I kind of love it. Did you imagine going this long breastfeeding? To be quite honest with you, no. 6 months was the goal I set, but in my head it was unattainable. And here we are, 7 months in. Like, once you get past that beginning part, it gets so much easier. And like, I had to fight for my breastfeeding journey. Like, pumping went well, but like my breastfeeding journey, like I had to fight for that. Like, I had to go to lactation consultants. We used nipple shields. He was born early. I don't know if that had anything to do with his like latching issues. I would say it wasn't until Gerald went back to work, he had 3 months off for paternity leave, that we really got good at breastfeeding. Like, I would say he was half bottle fed, half breastfed up until Gerald went back to work. Now he's breastfed all day long, except he gets a bottle before bed. He also feeds off me before bed, but he gets a little extra. I did not think I was gonna make it this long, but I did have to work for that. Like, it did not come easy. What watch do you use to track your walks? I use a Garmin Venue 3S. I think it's called. I really like it more than my Apple Watch. What's your hyperfixation meal right now? Wings from a little wing spot in Tampa called Wings Express. I get traditional wings, all drums, extra crispy with mild sauce on the side, and their french fries. No ranch, I do not need it. Their mild sauce is so good. I could eat that every single day. I feel like that's all we're gonna do for now. I have so many more, but my mouth is getting dry, which means I should probably shut up. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me. I hope you had a little snack or a sippy. I need to start doing these like every month at least, so we can get caught up and get on the same page. I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved chatting with you. Wait, leave like challenge videos, like simple videos that I can film down below. I used to do like test tasting drinks. I used to do random shit. Leave ideas for that down below, even if it's very old YouTube-esque, okay? All right, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.